I wanted to take this moment to point out that Donald Trump here is about to announce what Neil Tyson stated is very clearly our current situation in space, and that is we are losing the space race. It is still continuing, and it is for military dominance of everything in outer space. So if you want to know why and what we are doing in outer space, look to politics first. They will always tell you what the next step is and exactly what we're losing. So 5G and X-ray communications telescopic capabilities just became available to the human species through Russia and China and all of the other space-bearing nations. We're the only ones that don't have these communication capabilities. I wanted to take this moment and point out that this is Donald Trump now stating what Neil Tyson DeGrasse stated very clearly on the Stephen Colbert Show last year, and that is, if we do not have military dominance of space, we will not be capable of having any participations within space. The International Space Station was put there by the Russians to replace the Mir that they put there before. They put it up after the last Apollo mission met them there, and they have since convinced us to make a shuttle, which was a terrible idea. They did it on purpose. It was psychops, and they was expecting it to fail, as it did. That's why they didn't continue making theirs. And now, as we're trying desperately to remake Orion or through any of the various subcontractors that we can find, a way back to space to recapture the old Apollo mission and to get back. Like I stated in my other videos, if you haven't watched them, I suggest you do. But they are discussing exactly why we are trying desperately to recapture what we had been placed out of because of the shuttle and the Cyclops mission that was from Russia. So Stephen Colbert talked about the space race was for military dominance. That means the most hardware, the most people in space, the most capable military technology. And so here is Donald Trump stating that we are going to start up new wings of the government.
We're gathered here in the Rose Garden to establish the United States Space Command. It's a big deal. As the newest combatant command, SpaceCom will defend America's vital interests in space, the next warfighting domain. And I think that's pretty obvious to everybody. It's all about space. We're joined by Vice President Mike Pence, Secretary of Defense Dr. Mark Esper, Acting Director of National Intelligence Joe McGuire, Acting Secretary of the Army Ryan McCarthy, Acting Secretary of the Air Force Matt Donovan, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff General Joseph Dunford, and Congressman Mike Turner. We're especially grateful to welcome the new leader of SpaceCom, General Jay Raymond, highly respected man within the military, joined this afternoon by his wife Molly. Thank you. Thank you, Molly. Congratulations.
NASA may be government and
their wonderful
socially
family
run,
and several of their
but it's
friends.
military based.
General Raymond, congratulations.
In response to
So
Sputnik,
important. I know he's going to do a fantastic.
they just launched new communication satellites, just like Sputnik. Here is our new communications race and our new space race. There is no moon landing, there's no tomorrows.
Combatant commands
It always
were
has
developed
been.
to join
Yes.
branches of our armed forces in common cause across diverse fields of battle. Each of the United States military's combatant commands has an area of responsibility, from CENTCOM, which oversees our mission in the Middle East, to our most recent CyberCom, which we established just last year to protect Americans from the most advanced cyber threats, and also to create very, very severe and powerful offensive threats should we need them. The dangers to our country constantly evolve, and so must we. Now, those who wish to harm the United States, to seek to challenge us in the ultimate high ground of space, it's going to be a whole different ballgame. Our adversaries are weaponizing Earth's orbits with new technology targeting American satellites that are critical to both battlefield operations and our way of life at home.
Neil Tyson
Our
said that
freedom
never
to
happened.
operate in
Remember?
space is also essential to detecting and destroying any missile launched against the United States. So just as we have recognized land, air, sea, and cyber as vital warfighting domains,
Space.
we will now treat space as an independent region overseen by a new Unified Geographic Combatant Command. The establishment of the 11th Combatant Command is a landmark moment. This is a landmark day. One that
Yes, it is.
recognizes the centrality of space to America's national security and defense. Under General Raymond's leadership, SpaceCom will boldly deter aggression and outpace America's rivals by far. For 35 years, General Raymond has
We don't even
led
have 5G.
and commanded
X-ray
space operations
technologies.
at every level in the U.S. Air Force.
We can't
Oh,
even
yeah,
look at the
you're
stars
right.
like they do.
I'll bet you are. I am too. He's a warrior who has integrated space capabilities to make our military even stronger and to pave the way for a new era of national defense. He's respected by everybody sitting in front of us, everybody in the military, and everybody that knows him. SpaceCom will soon be followed, very importantly, by the establishment of the United States Space Force as the sixth branch of the United States Armed Forces. And that's really something when you think about it. The Space Force will organize, train, and equip warriors to support SpaceCom's
Warriors.
mission. With today's action, we open another great chapter in the extraordinary history of the United States military. SpaceCom will ensure that America's dominance in space is never questioned and never threatened, because we know the best way to prevent conflict is to prepare for victory. From our nation's first days, America's military blazed the trails and crossed the frontiers that secured our nation's future. No adversary on earth will ever match the awesome courage, skill, and might of American armed forces. Today we salute the heroic men and women who will serve in SpaceCom and keep America's horizons forever bright and forever free. We have budgets since we came into the administration, since the election, 2016, since January 20th,
Propaganda.
2017, we have done things with the military that few people would have thought possible. Budgets of $700 billion, $716 billion,
We can't go to
and now
space.
$738 billion. Nobody would have thought that that was possible, but we had them approved by Republicans and Democrats. And that money is now building the most advanced equipment anywhere on Earth, equipment that nobody even could have conceived of even 2 years ago.
We don't have 5G
It's very
communication
necessary,
still.
and hopefully we'll
They put
never
the
have
stickers
to.
on the Sprint phones, but you guys
I
don't
would now
have
like
it. It's
to ask
propaganda.
Secretary
Only
Estes
China
to
and
sign
Russia have
documents
it.
formally
India is
establishing
putting out their
the
second
United
stage
States
communication satellites. It didn't go to the
Space
moon.
Thank you.
So there it is. It's official. It's been fucking announced, and there is nothing that can stop the militarization of what has always been a military operation. So, shocking. The reason why this is so important is because I have been stating forever since the beginning of our propaganda, this is the reason why we have to deal with moon landing zealots, why the duck and cover zealots are exactly the same as the moon landing zealots, and why this is all just state-driven government propaganda. There is absolutely no dominance of the moon. No one's been there. No one's going there. This is all that we do. We are fighting over the 230-mile range. We've officially been kicked out. We're not allowed to be on the next International Space Station. 25 years as orbital decay. Humans in low Earth orbit, propaganda-based, military-backed, and everything is for power over the people. Communications is what? They're going to talk about communications being the ability to spy. And that's all Sputnik was, that's all this is, that's all everything has and will be. We didn't go to the moon, we can't go to the moon. Here's more reasons why we can't.